At this point, we're preparing to head on into our first interview this morning as we speak. Today, Budget Day in Tobago. And we have the opportunity joining us online, Anslem Richards. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, world, wherever in it you are.
All
Good
right.
morning.
Excellent. So, we got to get the conversation started by making that very quick comparison based on what would have been requested last year, June, what we actually got, and what do you anticipate this time around, given that based on our information, this will be the second budget presentation of this current administration. What are your hopes, dreams, and aspirations, notwithstanding what appears to be a very historic perspective down the road?
Mr. Julien, and I am not into the business of dealing with what was given to us because that does not satisfy the needs of Tobago, and we have to press on demanding what we think we are constitutionally and rightfully entitled to in our whole governance arrangement with Trinidad and Tobago. So the issue of what was given to us, which is an unfair mathematical arrangement, we should not even give credence to that in any conversation because we have not been receiving our fair share of the national pie for decades. And even in addition to that, we have been denied what Parliament have approved for us between 2017 and 2022. Those fiscal years, the government of Trinidad and Tobago refused to release approved allocation to the Tobago House of Assembly in the amount of $153 million. That is a lot of money for an island that is receiving only $4.30 of every $100 that is spent in this country. And in addition to that, this year in the mid-year budget review, when the budget was increased, by $3.8 billion, they only allocated $100 million to Tobago. When in keeping with the DRC recommendation, we should have been awarded $153 million at 4.03%. So these are numbers and issues that Tobago and the Tobagonian population need to take on board and demand from Port of Spain what is rightfully Tobago's share of the national pie. So I am not going to have any conversation about what we asked for and what we got. We are saying that we are entitled to 6.9% of the national budget, and we'll continue to make that argument. We'll operate in the constraints that we are placed under because of the unfair, abusive arrangement. But definitely, we are not going to give any currency to this unfair situation with the parliamentary allocation to the Tobago Assembly.
Well, Mr. Richards, again, always happy to be able to chat with you on the Tobago Updates morning show. Last year, we saw that there was some island-wide consultation that helped to shape and guide the budget last year. We didn't see any of that taking place this year. Where can we look? Where would the focus be? And somehow this year's budget sort of caught Tobago off guard. There was no follow-up, no lead-up to it, just bam, boom. Thursday, hearing all about this, where should the focus be? Where can we expect the focus to be this year?
Okay, so two things, right? The issue of consultation, I think it is an unfair statement to say that there was no consultation. This administration have been in constant consultation with the population, community by community, in its executive town hall meetings. So we know that's a given, that's a fact, the records are there. And that is the basis that fueled the input into the budget. So we had those series of town hall meetings, and they will even continue after this budget presentation. In addition to that, we have had contribution. We have met with the Tobago Chamber of Commerce. We discussed that. The tourism division have been in constant conversation and discussion with the stakeholders in that sector. The division of agriculture has been in constant conversation with the sector stakeholders, and we have those conversations ongoing. In addition to that, we recognize the importance of the people's participation in this democracy. So we are in the process of building out a comprehensive framework to mainstream the people's agenda, because we recognize that we have to go much beyond the talk. So there will be a formal institutional arrangement that promotes public participation, that will be that will be empowered with the institutional capacity and capability to do what you talk about, what you heard reports coming from those reports. We will break them out into policy, and then from those policy, we are going to break them out into policy mandates, and we are going to mainstream the people's agenda into the whole policy matrix of this administration going forward. So it's a work in progress.
Uh, Mr.
In
Richards, we
terms,
saw some focus, particularly coming out of last year's budget, in terms of the administration speaking directly to what one would consider urgent policy actions that would have been taken and policy areas, speaking to health, housing, food, education, debt management, and support for businesses in particular. Where do we anticipate the focus will now be for this budget presentation that is intended to take us through 2023 and 2024, that fiscal year?
right, so we have recognized and we have learned from the last year that there are a number of issues that must be rectified and must be restored if Tobago is to arrive at its destination as being the greatest little island on the planet. So we are speaking directly to those issues. We are speaking directly to our governance arrangement, the state and nature of our governance institution. We are speaking directly to the issue of productivity. We are speaking to the whole issue of diversification of the economy. And we are even speaking more directly to Port of Spain in terms of how this Twin Island Republic should function in an organized constitutional way. So those are the focal conversation. These are not guesswork. These are not side talk. These are not the kind of noises you are hearing in the space. These are direct conversation with the people of Tobago. These are policy positions that if we have to take charge of our destiny, we have to look deep and wide into these issues and fix these institutional and governance arrangement issues. Because at the end of the day, you can get the whole national pie if God so loved Tobago, they can give us the whole national pie. But if the quality of your state institution are what they are and what we have inherited, then you will just not achieve the kind of growth and development that the money ought to have delivered to the people of Tobago. So definitely there is a need for us to focus intensely on developing those institutional capabilities and capacity to deliver to the people of Tobago and deliver to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, very quickly here, even as we focus on the budget today and we focus on diversification, we focus on the economy, we focus on so many areas that cover. Are you there? Yes? Can you hear me, Mr. Richards?
I'm hearing you now.
Okay, okay, good. You must be focused on all of these areas within the budget. There's been some public outcry with regards to late payments for small businesses or the small business sector in Tobago. How do you respond to that? And will these areas be catered to, these avenues be catered to within the budget?
Well,
I'm not sure if you heard
I,
me.
I heard you. I heard you. I think I get the gist of your question. Yes, there and it goes back. It goes back to the point that I'm making about the quality of our governance institution and the efficiency and effectiveness of the operation of the animal that is called the THA. There is definitely some serious systemic problem that we need to fix in this Tobago House Assembly if we have to move this island forward. So the late payment of contractors is really a systemic problem in the institution that we have, our collective governance institution that is the THA. And there are serious institutional problems there that needs to be addressed. And I think that the conversation is speaking directly to some of those issues that we need to fix. So that doesn't mean that we are not pressing forward in rectifying those things, because we have to deliver to our service provider in a timely manner. But definitely there are deep-seated problems within the institution that is the THA that needs to be rectified.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, we're just about out of time, so we want to say thank you very much there, Anslem Richards, economist and social scientist, for joining us here on set this morning as we speak THA Budget Presentation 2023-2024. We all look forward today to hearing what will be presented by this current administration as we look towards the continued growth and development of Tobago. So thank you very much again, Anslem Richards, for joining us. All right, viewers, coming up in our next segment, we we will have on with us Wendell Walker, and that's the Director of Product Development and Destination Management, TTAL, as we speak Sea Turtles Awareness Expo. So we look forward to those upcoming discussions this morning and remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.